So the IBF have alluded to the fact that they may well strip Tyson Fury. He is a mandatory in Glasgow. Now that's a weird situation in itself, because I understood there was a high likelihood Glasgow would fight Deontay Wilder for the WBC title, in which case wouldn't this kind of negate the issue? But Tyson Fury obviously has a contract signed with Vladimir Klitschko for a rematch. So contractually, legally, he's going to have to fight the Klitschko rematch. That may well mean that he gets stripped of his IBF title. And I guess that's a necessary evil from Tyson Fury. Obviously, Glasgow, he's someone who I think is dramatically overrated, but he's not a big name. It's not a big fight. The Vladimir Klitschko fight is a much more legitimate fight. It's going to be a lot more highly paid. It's going to be a lot more highly regarded by the boxing public. I do think it's really unfortunate that Fury's going to be stripped. I mean, in one extent, before I get totally on the bandwagon here, what I will say is fair play to the IBF in upholding their rules. The IBF do seem to be an organisation who take their rules and regulations and processes more seriously. And, to an extent, you can't have a gripe on that. I do think this is perhaps pushing it a bit. I mean, clearly Tyson Fury here is not in a position where he's ducking Glasgow. It's just that in order to get the Klitschko fight and in order to avoid it going to purse bids, he had to agree to a rematch clause. And you would think that given the nature of who Vladimir Klitschko is and how long he's reigned, the IBF could make an exemption here. If you look at other governing bodies, I mean, look at the WBC. Look at how easy they've been on Deontay Wilder ahead of enforcing that rematch with... not the rematch, the match with Povetkin. I heard Deontay Wilder offered a voluntary title defence to Thomas Adamek today. Whether that's confirmed or not, I don't know. It sounds like Adamek's not going to take the fight anyway. But if Deontay Wilder's allowed to have voluntaries against Depar, Molina, and Adamek without even defending his WBC belt, it does seem crazy that a guy like Tyson Fury, less than a week removed from winning the world title, is going to be stripped for not fighting Glasgow. I mean, surely you could give him a bit of time, and you could allow him to fight the winner of the. You could allow him to fight Vladimir Klitschko with an agreement that the winner would have to fight Glasgow. The Fury Glasgow fight is a nothing fight. Glasgow, as far as I'm concerned, got beaten by Malik Scott. You could well make an argument that he got beaten by Derek Rossi. He's too small for me. He doesn't punch too hard. He's got a good jab, he's got some decent amateur pedigree, but he's not on Tyson Fury's level. It's not a fight that I'm really keen to see. But it is unfortunate. I mean, I've heard that if Tyson Fury were to be stripped, Glasgow would get a fight with either Charles Martin or... there was one other name in the mix, actually, who I've temporarily forgotten. I'm sure someone will comment. But what I'm getting at, I like Charles Martin. For what it's worth, I think Charles Martin would beat Glasgow. But whoever that's going to be, that third person, that third world titleist, I mean, how are they going to be a legitimate world title? And you would think it'd be better for boxing if you could keep all the belts with Fury. The reason being, the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder unification matchup is far less likely to happen if there's a third belt doing the round. I mean, the whole point of that Fury-Wilder fight is the idea that it's the unified heavyweight champion of the world, that there's no debate on it. And you'd have to say, that matchup would lose some of its sparkle if there was a third world champion in the shape of Glasgow, who's got to the top off very, very little. So, all in all, I guess in summary, what I'm saying is, I like the fact that the IBF are sticking by their rules. I applaud them for that to an extent. But I do think there needs to be a little bit of logic here. And I think given the length of Vladimir Klitschko's reign, given the fact that Tyson was pretty much forced into signing a rematch clause, logic should prevail here. And you shouldn't strip a guy who's just won the belt because he has to take a rematch for legal reasons. Let me know your thoughts on this. Many thanks as always for watching.